Good morning, good evening and good afternoon, and welcome back to Croatia. Today I'm gonna talk a little bit about pros and cons of living here, and I'm gonna be trying to make some hot dogs at the same time too. So before we jump into some specifics, let's talk a little bit general about Croatia. So it's located in southeastern Europe, across the Adriatic Sea, across Italy. That's how you say it, I think, in English language. Member of European Union since 2013, and for my American viewers, it's about the same size as West Virginia. There are a lot of different landscapes in Croatia, so you could say there's something for everyone. For example, if you like island living, there's over 1,000 islands, which are generally very quiet during winter and off season. By off season, I mean everything except summer, because on summers they are just occupied by millions of tourists, of course. If you go a little bit norther, you have a Istria Peninsula, which is famous for its truffles and food and olive oil in general, which was actually part of Italy until 1947, so some of the population there speaks Italian, and the signs and road signs and everything is bilingual there. South of Istria you have Dalmatia and Dalmatian Coast, together with Croatia's second largest city, Split, and one of the most famous ones, Dubrovnik, which is famous for, well, its walls, but largely in the last decade, let's say, for Game of Thrones, because Dubrovnik was King's Landing in Game of Thrones. But except that, if you like metropolitan life, you have Zagreb, capital, which is located inland actually, and has a very different climate, which yes includes snow during winter. I don't know why everyone thinks we don't have snow in Croatia. We do, and it can be a lot of it. Zagreb is also known for its Christmas market, which was awarded as a best Christmas market several years in a row, but I would be a little bit skeptical about that, because it was awarded by a website which basically just had an online vote, and most of the votes were basically Croatians voting for themselves. So maybe, but okay, let's say. But yeah, but other than that, it has everything that any other European capital has. So if you like that, why not? But before we jump into pros and cons, let's deal with the hot dogs. So I there's a guy I follow on YouTube. The channel name is Sam the Cooking Guy, so if you like food and cooking, check him out. But yeah, I found an interesting recipe, because we are gonna cook some dogs in this. I don't know, did it focus? So it's pale ale. We're gonna cook hot dogs in beer, and then do some other interesting stuff to it. But yeah, I need to put that in a pot now, so let's do that. I added some more water into that just to cover them up. But yeah, so pros and cons. Let's talk about climate first. If you love the sun, you would love the Croatian coast, because it gets hot, and it has, I think its annual sun hours are over 2,600, which is amazing, but that's also why you get swarms of tourists everywhere. Winters on the coast are not cold. It very rarely goes under the freezing temperatures, and snow is not likely to happen except in some exceptional occasions. Now that would be pros if you like the sun. Now cons, more or less the same thing, but if you don't like the sun, you will hate it, because it can get blistering hot, like over 40 degrees. It's 36 now actually. Here where I'm standing, I'm sweating like crazy. But I like that. But yeah, if you don't, you should not be considering living in Croatia. It's a little bit different inland, but still over the summer 36, 35, 37 is not uncommon, and it happens every summer, every year. So it's your decision. You can tell me in the comments, do you like sun or not? But most of my viewers are Irish, so I can see the direction that will be going. Now let's go a little bit into cost of living. So cost of living in Croatia will vary a lot on a city or village or a region of Croatia where you are. So during the seasons, let's say, if you shop at a local grocery I think, markets, you can find really good deals. I mean, you can walk away with a bags full of vegetables with a fraction of the prices you would pay in a supermarket. You can, if you're on the coast, you can buy the fish and seafood directly from a fishing boat, again cheaper than any market or something like that. You get my point. So yeah, it can be really, I wouldn't say cheap. There are cheaper countries, but there are also much more expensive countries, including Ireland, for example. Compared to Ireland, Croatia is cheap, if that's what you are wondering. Now the cons would be the enormous web of taxes and government regulations in Croatia, which is impossible to navigate even for us Croatians. So if you ever need to do anything, enlist a help of a local or someone, and don't be surprised if it takes not hours, not days. It can take weeks, and it can take months. Yeah, that's how dysfunctional this country is. Regarding safety, it's a very safe country. Again, for my American viewers, you could, or maybe possibly will know what that means. It was ranked many years ago, I think, and since then is ranked as a level 1 country by US State Department, and it's ranked 28 in World Peace Index, which is in comparison exactly 100 places in front of United States, which are 128. So yeah, I found that curious. Now, if you worry about some bigger stuff, global stuff, it is part of NATO and part of the European Union, but I honestly don't give a shit about that, so who cares? That would be the pros, because it really is a safe country. Cons would be, it has a lot of sparsely inhabited areas, especially islands, and that can be a problem because if you are in need of some emergency help, ambulances, things like that, it can take a lot of time for someone to get to you and help you. But that's more of a medical care thing, I think. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that after I cut some stuff, because I need to continue with my hot dogs, because I think they're almost cooked now, so I need to prepare the toppings and stuff. Okay, healthcare system. The good news is, and that's the only good news, is if you live here and if you decide to live here more than 3 months, you will be asked to contribute to the national healthcare system, and after that all of your healthcare in Croatia is free. Except it's not. People are mostly idiots, so they think it's free and they keep telling to other foreigners or non-Croatian that healthcare in Croatia is free. It's not free. You will be paying it out of your paycheck, and it's a considerable amount. And what you're paying for is where you are entering in the cons now, if this was actually a pro. The system in Croatia is very strained, because there's a lot of workers leaving Croatia to go work to another EU countries, because the wages are much bigger. So the waiting lists and the quality of service and everything, it varies, of course, from town to town, but in general, I would say it's not on the level where it should be. Also, if you want some statistics, Croatia is budgeting 7.1, I think, % of its budget to healthcare, which is well below average of European Union, which is 9.9, so basically 10. That's basically all you need to know. Plus the hospitals are in debt to the, what you call it, them, pharmacies, the companies that are selling them drugs. Well, the hospitals are not paying their bills, so I rest my case. Now let's deal with the toppings. So what I will do is take another pot, put some olive oil in it and butter in it. Why both, you wonder? Because the oil stops butter from burning. And we're gonna put all of these things that I have so professionally cut into this on a not too hot pan, just to give them some color and more taste. And then after that, we are gonna grill our already cooked dogs. Is that how you call them? Hot dogs? Is hot dogs? Dogs are the things that are inside, I guess, yeah? I don't know, tell me in the comments. But yeah, let's do this now. Well, if I wasn't boiling before all of this, I am now. Anyways, before we build my hot dog, let's wrap up the Croatian story. So, I would say Croatian lifestyle is enviable, actually. Like, Croatians value family time, friends time, they love spending time just sitting and drinking coffee, beer, tea, whatever you like. But the opposite side of that is of course bureaucracy and the government. Many expats who tried to stay in Croatia after those first 90 days just gave up because it's ludicrous what you have to do to get a simple, I would say a simple visa. At least it should be simple. But yeah, so you need to weigh things. And that would be my story about Croatia, I think. I hope you will leave some comments and tell me what you think and your experiences if you have any. And yeah, that would be a wrap up about Croatia. Now we're gonna build those hot dogs. We're gonna do something a little bit different. We're not putting any additional mayo or ketchup or mustard on it. That's my dog catching, I don't know what, ghosts probably. But yeah, we're gonna put sour cream, cold sour cream, and then on top of that we put our dogs, and on top of that our toppings, which you saw me cut and prepare. It was onion, garlic and jalapeno peppers in 3 different colors, if that's what matters to anyone. Maybe I'll eat this in front of you. I probably won't, because I don't honestly know how to eat this. We'll see. But yeah, if you like this kind of video, press the like button. If you loved it, press the subscribe one. If you didn't like it, press the dislike button, and I will see you in the next one.
Ain't no worries, don't you worry.